Okay, so DigiByte. We're diving in. We've got articles piled up here, app info, looks like the whole 9 yards. People are comparing it to Bitcoin. But is it really in the same league? Like, what are we dealing with here?
You've hit the nail on the head. That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? I mean, it's easy to just lump it in with all the other cryptocurrencies and be done with it, right? But, and this is key, there's a lot more to DigiByte than meets the eye.
All right, you've got my attention, so why don't you break it down for us? What is DigiByte, really, and why should we care?
In a nutshell, DigiByte, or DGB for short, is a cryptocurrency, just like Bitcoin, sure. But here's the analogy I like to use. Think of Bitcoin as, say, that old flip phone you have tucked away somewhere. It does the basic job. DigiByte. DigiByte is the smartphone with all the bells and whistles. It's all about speed, rock-solid security, and that whole decentralized thing everyone's talking about. And the core of that security, the thing that really sets it apart, is something called, get this, chain work.
Chain work. Okay, now you have to explain that one. Sounds a little intense, to be honest.
It's not as complicated as it sounds, really. Imagine for a second a massive, unbreakable chain, right? Each link in that chain represents raw computational power, the stuff that verifies and secures every single DigiByte transaction. We're talking Fort Knox levels of security here, maybe even more. And here's the kicker.
Yeah.
The longer that chain, the stronger that network becomes. And DigiByte, well, get this, it's got a chain work that's bigger than Litecoin and Dogecoin combined. Let that sink in for a minute.
Okay, wow. Now that's impressive. But let's be practical for a second. What good is all that security if it's a nightmare to use, right?
Yeah.
That's on this stack of stuff you sent me something called let me get this right, the DigiByte Wallet.
That's a great point. And this is something that often gets overlooked. DigiByte isn't just about having the best tech. It's about making that tech accessible. That's where the DigiByte Wallet comes into play. And it's not just any old crypto wallet, by the way. This one was custom built for DigiByte, and get this, by a developer who goes by the name Sumtoshi. They used something called, are you ready for this? BIP39.
BIP39. Okay, you're losing me a little bit.
I'll explain. Think of it this way. Remember those old school bank vaults with the giant combination locks? BIP39 is like the digital version of that, but instead of a physical key, it gives you a 24-word recovery phrase. It's virtually unhackable, believe me. With BIP39, you have complete control. No need for banks, no middlemen, just you and, well, your DigiByte.
Okay, BIP39, got it. Super secure, like a digital Fort Knox, love it. But let's talk price for a sec. Everyone wants to know, can DigiByte take off like Bitcoin, Moon, and all that?
You're preaching to the choir, right? It's the question on everyone's mind. But here's the thing about crypto, right? You can't predict the future. And past performance, well, you know the drill. But here's what I can tell you. DigiByte, even with all its strengths, it's still undervalued. Compared to other cryptos out there, it's like, whoa, how is it not bigger?
So we've got the tech, the security, the whole package. What's holding it back then?
Remember when we were talking about chain work, right? Like that massive, unbreakable chain. Think of it this way. Someone, somewhere, wants to break that chain, hack the network, right? With Bitcoin, the cost of even attempting that, astronomical. With DigiByte, forget about it. That chain work makes it practically impossible, too expensive to even try.
Okay, now that is seriously impressive. I'm starting to get why you're so into this. And you mentioned earlier that DigiByte actually helped out Dogecoin back in the day.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So picture this.
Right.
Early days of Dogecoin, still finding its feet, and they're having some major, major issues with their mining, instability, all that fun stuff. DigiByte steps up, lends a hand, rolls out this tech called DigiShield, and bam, problem solved. And we all know what happened next, right? Dogecoin, meme magic, the whole shebang soared all the way to over 70 cents at one point.
Wait, hold on. Dogecoin, the meme coin. It gets bailed out by DigiByte and then goes on a moon mission. Why isn't DigiByte more famous?
Now that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And this is where things get interesting. See, DigiByte's story, it's not just about lines of code and fancy tech. It's about the people, the community. And well, let's just say there have been some differing opinions, some disagreements along the way.
You mean those internal disagreements, the ones you mentioned earlier?
Exactly. You're going to have some bumps in the road with any community, especially in the crypto world, am I right? Everyone's passionate, everyone's got an opinion. But think about it. Even those disagreements, they come from a place of caring, right? Wanting the best for the project.
Sounds like a family, right? You might argue, might disagree, but at the end of the day, you're in it together.
100%. Now just imagine, if all that energy, all that passion was channeled into collaboration, working together instead of, butting heads. That's when you see real magic happen.
Okay, now you're talking. So paint me a picture then. What does a collaborative future for DigiByte look like? Give me the dream scenario.
All right.
So collaboration is key. Got it. We need a DigiByte dream team, everyone working together, all that good stuff. But how do we get there? How do we get everyone on the same page?
Sometimes it's as simple as changing your perspective, right? Like imagine if instead of all the back and forth, the DigiByte community, they just focused on all the good stuff, the wins.
Like that awesome DigiByte wallet? Talk about a win, right? I mean, Sumtoshi built that thing because the community asked for it.
Yeah.
That screams community-driven development.
Exactly. And that's what people need to remember. This community can make things happen, but let's be real, there are some speed bumps along the way. Like you came across that article about Trezor, right?
Yeah, the whole dropping support for DigiByte thing in 2025, not ideal.
Not ideal, no. But here's the thing about challenges, right? They breed innovation. See, Trezor, they're a hardware wallet, right? And sure, their decision, it impacts some DigiByte users for sure, but it also shines a light on how important it is for DigiByte to have its own, thriving wallet ecosystem.
Which it does. I mean, you've got the DigiByte wallet, the core wallet.
See, there are options out there. This whole Trezor situation, honestly, it's a golden opportunity, I think. The DigiByte community can use this, educate people about the wallets out there, all the benefits, might even attract some new users in the process. People who are looking for a more user-friendly, secure experience. Turn that frown upside down, as they say.
I like the way you think. Turn a negative into a positive. Okay, so we've got all the pieces, right? Solid tech, check. Passionate community, check. Secure, user-friendly wallet, check, check. We even have a game plan for overcoming challenges. What's the final verdict? Is DigiByte going to be the underdog that becomes top dog? What do you think?
Well, if I had a crystal ball, I'd be on a beach somewhere, right? But I can tell you this, underdogs, they've got heart. They're hungry. And DigiByte. DigiByte has all the right ingredients to go all the way. The tech is there. The community is there. What it needs now is people to, really get behind it, believe in it.
You've convinced me. I'm all in. So for anyone listening, thinking about jumping on board, what are the key takeaways? What do they absolutely need to know about DigiByte?
Number one, download that DigiByte wallet. Try it out. It's easy to use, secure, and it proves what a dedicated community can do. Second, chain work. Remember that word. DigiByte is as secure as it gets. And finally, don't underestimate the power of community. Get involved, spread the word, be a part of it, DigiByte's success, it hinges on that, on people like our listeners.
So there you have it. The question is, are you ready to be a part of the DigiByte story? This underdog has bite.